Because here's the thing about Bill Belichick. Would Bill be so devious as to purposely send a congratulation text to Brian Flores, knowing the passionate, knowing the righteous person he is? I'm smoking meth.
Push the goddamn button!
Doing it for G.P.
Brian Flores has officially become a martyr in the black community on behalf of black plight, while simultaneously, unintentionally, yet presumably gaining a collective eye roll from many not in the black community because, oh my god, yet another black disruption in the status quo. Today is February 2nd, really February 3rd, but I'm getting this video out a little late, so we'll pretend it's the 2nd. It is Black History Month, aka American History Month, and Brian Flores, at least as far as becoming the NFL head coach again, may just become part of black history. This is what we're smoking on.
We out here mad ethnic right now, you know what I'm saying? Shout out MLK, shout out Martin, you know what I'm saying? You already know. Shout out my nigga Malcolm, you already know.
How's it going, subs? Non-subs? Thumbnail clickers. Could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and for that, I appreciate you. Welcome to my channel. I am Smokin Mac. And as far as Brian Flores goes, ladies and gentlemen, Colin Kaepernick nailed. So Brian Flores can then get up and jumping knee UFC style to the NFL and all of America's fucked up, prejudiced, systematic corporate practices. He's filed a lawsuit against the NFL prompted by some text and starting with his firing from the Dolphins. What does he have to say about the Dolphins? Well, Flores alleges that Dolphins owner Stephen Ross attempted to incentivize him to tank or purposely lose games shortly after he was hired in 2019, with Ross allegedly offering Flores $100,000 for every loss that season. Illegal in every way possible, at least as far as NFL rules go, and Stephen Ross should probably never own a team again, if this is true. Flores says that as the team won games late in the season, Dolphins general manager Chris Greer told him that Ross was mad that the on-field success was compromising the team's draft position. Sounds like incentivization. Sounds like an incentive to tank to me. Additionally, Flores alleges that Ross pressured him into recruiting a prominent quarterback at the end of the 2019 season, which the coach refused so as not to violate the NFL's tampering rules. Ross then allegedly invited Flores onto a yacht for lunch in the winter of 2020, where he informed him that the quarterback was conveniently arriving at the marina for an impromptu meeting. So pretty much, yeah, I know you refused. I know you don't want to break the rules and shit like that because, of course, if you get caught breaking the rules as a black coach, you can jeopardize your future NFL coaching career. But hey, who gives a... I'm your owner. You're going to do what I say. This is going to happen. Flores refused the meeting and left the yacht. Afterward, Flores alleges he was treated with disdain and held out as someone who was non-compliant and difficult to work with. Then, of course, they fired his ass. Said he was difficult to work with because, of course, Stephen Ross wasn't going to employ a subordinate who was cautious of not to break the rules on his behalf, possibly jeopardizing his future endeavors. So as he's looking for a new job, here's where shit hits the fan. Flores alleged he spoke with the Giants via Zoom on January 18th, prior to the team hiring former Buffalo Bills assistant general manager Joe Schoen as its GM on January 23rd. He said that the next day, Schoen finalized his interview date for January 27th, which is a Thursday. And Giants co-director of player personnel, Tim McDonald, texted Flores saying he hoped he would, quote, come in and win the f***ing job. Sounds like the Giants were really excited to bring Brian Flores in and get him acclimated to the culture. But again, so it seems. However, hours later, Flores' lawsuit alleges he received a series of text messages from Patriots coach Bill Belichick, under whom Flores worked for 10 years in New England. Now, I'm a Patriots fan. I don't think I've missed a game since the 1996 AFC Championship against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Brian Flores, as a coach here, changed the f***ing defense. Sure, we're always top 10 in defense, you know, the whole bend but don't break thing, but when Brian Flores came, we played a lot more 4-3 press. Cover 2 man, aggressive blitz packages. The defense that held Patrick Mahomes on his toes in the AFC Championship. And guess what? Brian Flores didn't even have a title when he was here under Bill Belichick. Take that information as you may. Moving along, these text messages. A lot of people, it seems, including Brian Flores, interpret these text messages as all the Brians in Bill Belichick's phone that he knows, he just puts them under Brian. Brian 1, Brian 2, Brian 3. And ended up sending a text to Brian Daboll rather than Brian Flores, pre-congratulating him on the job for the Giants, the head coaching job, before Brian 2 or 3, Brian Flores, even got the interview. Let's take a look at the text. So this is Bill Belichick in the gray text bubbles and Brian Flores in the blue. Bill Belichick. Sounds like you have landed. Congrats. Brian Flores, did you hear something I didn't? Bill, Giants? Brian, I interview on Thursday. I didn't think I have a shot at it. Bill, got it. I hear from Buffalo, New York that you're their guy. Hope it all works out if you wanted to. Brian, that's definitely what I want. I hope you're right, Coach. Thank you. And then Brian Flores says, wait a minute. Coach, are you talking to Brian Flores or Brian Daboll? Just making sure. Bill, sorry I fucked this up. I double-checked and misread the text. I think they're naming Daboll. I'm sorry about that. Bill Belichick. Brian, thanks, Bill. Now was Bill like, oh no, sorry I fucked this up? Or was he like, sorry, I fucked this up? Because here's the thing about Bill Belichick. Would Bill be so devious as to purposely send a congratulation text to Brian Flores, knowing the passionate, knowing the righteous person he is, knowing that he's on a coaching search, knowing that he feels that Miami let him go unjust? Could Bill Belichick, the master manipulator, be taking advantage of a situation? And could we see Brian Flores, who the rest of the league most certainly will not touch now, be once again on the Patriots staff? It's only speculation. But we'll see how this goes. Because just like in history up until now, as history repeats itself over and over again, when black people protest injustice, there are always many other black people to corroborate, while there are many non-black people to detract. Hugh Jackson has now come out and said he was offered payment to lose games. Marvin Lewis has said there have been racist practices, and I'm pretty sure there are going to be a lot more who are just sick of this cycle of dismissive behavior. Now, I must mention, all the teams involved have denied the allegations, including, who I forgot to mention, the Denver Broncos, who Brian Flores said he also went on an interview with. They came an hour late and seemed to be hungover. Now, when they asked Brian Flores about it, I don't think he had a great answer as to how he knew they were hungover or how he could prove they were an hour late. For me, I need substance. And speaking of substance, what exactly is Brian Flores dying on this hill for? Giving up his career for black plight? Let's take a look. Bullet point number 1, increase influence of black individuals in hiring. Increase the objectivity of hiring, terminating GMs, head coaches, and coordinators. Increase the number of black coordinators. Incentivize hiring / retention of black GMs, head coaches, and coordinators. And lastly, transparency of pay for GMs, head coaches, and coordinators. Does not seem like much to ask for. Let's see where this goes in the coming days and weeks. Make sure you drop a like, drop a comment. Until we meet again. Until next time. Next!
Make sure you like, subscribe, and get notified.
I'm smoking meth.